All right. It's time. Thank you for being here. Thanks for listening. Hopefully I sound all right. We're going to open that up. And then I have a file to open in pictures, drawing references. And there's Atlas's thing. So, let me double check real quick that everything's working. We're good. We're good. So, I think like 2 weeks ago, um, this person asked us to draw their character, their OC here, I guess. I genuinely don't know what they wanted. I don't know if they wanted me to draw this in a different style. At the time I was drawing, I think, the Carno, and I had already had plans for the Raptor. So I just went ahead and did the Raptor first. Um I don't know if they wanted me to draw the owl because apparently it's an owl person hybrid. I don't fucking know. They didn't say. Probably shouldn't be messing with the cable for this while I'm speaking, or unmuted, or yeah. Anyway, yeah, I don't really know what they wanted, but I think what I'm gonna do is I've been liking art on Twitter, and I don't know, I might try and see if I can't transform something like the I don't know, into basically their colors. Is the best I can put. I kind of liked there was one of Medion from Final Fantasy that I kind of thought might work. Oh, gummy shark, let's fucking go. And I was thinking what if I did that but with owl wings? And then I saw this girl, and I could just change it into a dude. This is real furry, I don't know, pretty good looking though. But I was honestly kind of hoping to avoid a lot of feathers. Um, but this also got me looking through. So where's the Medion one? It's weird. Oh well. Um, it got me thinking about AI art, and I was wondering if people I follow or things I look at were AI, and I don't know how good those AI checkers are, but they seem pretty accurate, is what I'll say. And quite a few things have been AI that I wasn't really expecting. I don't know who a lot of these characters are, by the way. I feel like maybe this one might be a good thing. I don't really want to draw a full body though. Where is I? Maybe this would just do a partial and a part of a wing in the background. That could be kind of good. Because like I said, I don't really want to draw the whole body. I also don't really even know what the fuck I'm looking at here. I feel like I've never really seen this style before. It kind of reminds me of what was that game called? There was an old flat, I think it was a Flash game called Adventure Quest or something, and they had I think it was Adventure Quest, and they had it was basically 2D anime-esque characters, but their limbs had hinges, and they were sometimes overly exaggerated. I feel like that's maybe what we're looking at here. But this is obviously either something they drew or something they commissioned, and it just happens to be their style or whatever. But I don't know, it might be kind of cool to do something like this, just half a face. But I had been almost we'll allege it's researching. The thing is, I just couldn't really find anything that I thought would be relatively easy for my low skill level. Like, these are all cool, but like, I don't think I got it, which is why I'm thinking maybe we just do a face. The problem with that is I have to draw a face. I'm not good at those either. Don't really want to draw pants. God damn it. This wouldn't be too bad if I just drew like a giant smug. And I can mostly avoid drawing the owl stuff. Do they have two sets of wings? Or what are the tufts on the back of their head? Or two sets of ears? Wait, aren't owl ears just holes in the side of your head? Maybe we do this. So like basically just a simple face shot, except not simple at all, and I suck. But I don't have to draw a whole bunch of feathers if I do end up fitting some face in there or some body in there. I can change up like most of the face style, right? And we'll just do our best. Yeah, I'm definitely not. If they had wanted me to draw a reference sheet, it's not happening. I can tell you that because I just don't really have the skill for that, and I don't really want to do that. That's not the type of thing I've set out to draw here. You know what I mean? It's been quite a while since I've drawn face. So, oh. Hopefully this doesn't go too poorly. I could do this. Probably be smart. Nah, we're not going to do it. All right. Let's see. Feels kind of tall. Kind of thin. I don't know. I don't really feel like drawing a whole body. I've done like 4 whole body projects. 2 of them weren't even human. I kind of just wanted to draw something simple, but we did, get asked if we wanted to draw this, and I said sure. So I think if we keep it relatively simple, I feel like I need to stretch this. Or am I tripping? Do, 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 do. Nope. Deselect. I don't really know. But yeah, I'd rather not draw like a bunch of feathers after the raptor incident. Um, I don't know. Just like a simple face thing kind of feels right now. And if they don't like it, they can draw their own stuff. This is that simple. So they do have ears. Okay. Do, 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 do. I'm not gonna copy this eye. I feel like I don't get it. It's just like not really something I would draw. Therefore, I will not draw it. I don't know. There's like a weird like divot in it, and maybe that's for like maybe this is like a pre-rigged 2D model. And maybe that's to try and add eye depth. But I don't fuck with it, so I ain't doing it. Okay. I think I might be a little more crude than I'm being here. Um, and just try and get like some shape down, and then we'll just refine it later. Because otherwise, we'll end up with zilch, zip, nada, canada. We don't want that, do we? Unless it's something else, in which case, zilch. Okay. Zip. Zippy. Okay, let me zoom in. I'm thinking about maybe shrinking the head here. What do we think? Yes, I could have symmetry tooled this. I just don't want to. You know, it's more fun to do it yourself. There's more pleasure in it, if you will. More skill to be had. Okay. Got your nosy. Okay, so they're not wearing. They're wearing like a. If I had to guess, this would be a tank top. I don't personally own any shirts that go that deep on the neck. Like I have some V-neck T-shirts, but like that's sitting pretty deep. So that's probably a tank top. I don't know, but we're gonna try and draw like the hoodie outline, and we are gonna shrink it, I think. Okay. Selecto Dico is not necessary actually. There we go. Okay. So yeah, they're wearing like a hoodie. Let's maybe just try and get their body going. Get the body moving, if you will. I don't know why I just had a whole lot of trouble trying to draw like that. That's fine though. I know I was originally thinking like, how am I gonna do this? And I still don't really know. But I was like, what do I even draw? Like, how do I get there? Um, so I just started like looking for references of either just like dudes, like kind of like this one. I don't know who this is. It says hashtag Lowen, and it's by Shabam, but the O is a zero. I'm assuming that that's supposed to be good old elite speak. But yeah, I don't really know how to start things. So I just figured they were a dude. I can draw maybe a dude. So I'll just draw a dude. And I did pick some things. Like I saw that Medion picture I told you about. But she's like this blue haired sort of angel creature who has wings on her head. And I was like, well, maybe I can do that. And it was just like a head, it was a bust basically. It was like mostly a headshot with like a little bit of the neck, kind of like this. But that she has the wings in her head. So I'm thinking like, well, I can just do that and make it owl wings. And that might be kind of cool. I know it's not the design here, but I mean, sometimes you just gotta do what feels right for you creatively. But ultimately, I decided against that because I couldn't find it just now. I'm sorry. Okay. So I guess this is shaved on the sides. This is the is this a bowl cut? Hold on. What is this hairstyle called? I feel like it's a bowl cut, right? Cuz it's like you shaved everything but what the bowl covered. I believe is what this is. It's just like they have wavy hair so it's less bowly. Dude, this is a bowl cut. Oh my god. Dude, why the fuck are so many why oh my god. All right. Well, yeah, I think that's what this is. Where basically you shave the sides and the back, and like the idea is whatever the bowl doesn't cover is where your hair is chopped off to. Um Obviously you don't necessarily have to use a bowl to get it, but this is a bowl cut, so it's reminiscent of what's his fucking name? I think it's from Solo Leveling, right? That dude has a bowl cut, doesn't he? Or am I thinking of someone else? Yeah, he's got. I mean, his isn't. His is like he hasn't reshaved it yet in a while, but it's definitely a bowl cut, right? Like he's got more than just the little bits on the side. Well, some of the. Well, I don't know how much of this is fan art at this point. But yeah, it's a bowl cut. It's kind of crazy to think about because when I was growing up, a bowl cut would have got you probably bullied into suicide. I'm not kidding. You would have been relentlessly destroyed if you showed up to school with that. But now it's like trendy, you know? I know that was a crazy statement, but I'm not kidding. You would have gotten fucking annihilated. You would have gotten your ass beat. You basically wouldn't have been able to show up to school for probably like 2 weeks and not get just humiliated. Um, you probably would have ended up just shaving everything off. Like if you showed up with a bowl cut because like your parents or whoever, just put a bowl over your head and cut off everything on the sides for you because they didn't want to have to deal with the rest. You were done. You would lose all of your friends. And now it's like I said, trendy. I guess it has a lot to do with like K-pop maybe. Hmm. It's actually just erase this. I'm trying to think of how I want to do this. I feel like I need to start like right here. I don't know how important for them it is that it covers the eyes, but I don't really want to cover the eyes. When I have hair that's long enough that it would cover the eyes, I can't fucking see. I don't know. There used to be like I don't know how popular this still is, but there used to be like scene kids. And the scene hairstyle was straight ironed hair that went straight down everywhere. And it's honestly, it's kind of like a bowl cut in that they chop it to a length. So it's like chopped generally to a certain length, except maybe like where they part it, it'll maybe like taper so that it'll be it'll hang down in front of the face, kind of like this. But then like maybe the other side they'll tuck behind their ear or something, or it'll be chopped here. So one eye will be covered and one uncovered, or they'll just go full on and it'll just always be uncovered and maybe it'll be tapered like here but it'll be chopped and so it'll basically be like a broken base. It'll kind of come down like that and then like go like that and like kind of meet at a point and then just kind of like a loop around. Honestly, it's kind of like the Karen cut now. Sorry to scene kids. um like it's highly produced hair straightened with a lot of product, you know, to maintain it. And this is kind of tough to do because I can't really see how it's supposed to look. Due to it kind of not coming through the eyes. So I'm just going to mostly make this up, I think. I'm going to go with, the best way I can put it is like boy hair, but instead of adding like the little tufts behind the ears, we're just going to leave it blank. Because like normally I would probably like come down either around in front of the ears and give them sideburns or like behind, but I don't think there's a side profile here, but it doesn't look like they have sideburns. I'll maybe come off of it a little bit so that the head doesn't feel super flat. Interesting little design here. I don't know. It's not like bad or anything. I want to be clear. I'm not like trashing it. It's just not really something I've drawn before. And so I'm finding it hard to like almost come up with. I'm gonna like make it a little more my own if I can. Just because that's gonna be easier for me to try and draw. Kind of looks like ice cream. Interesting that it kind of goes up. Maybe that's what I should do. Maybe I should switch to a picture of what's his name? I can't fucking remember his name, dude. Google. Why is this not working? Solo. Well, apparently there's two L's. What's his fucking name? Jinwoo. There we go. That's the guy. That's the guy. Maybe we do him. He's got the same haircut. I think his goes the opposite direction sometimes though. He's got, maybe it's just easier to notice because it's supposed to be darker hair. I don't know. There we go. That's exactly him. That actually looks like him if he were AI generated. I don't know why that one looks so weird. All right, let's go back to the other picture because I just kind of like the general look of him better. Okay, I think I'm going to shrink it in a little bit here. And actually, I'm going to just do it now. And the reason is I wanted to try and include the tufts is what I'm going to call them because I don't know what they actually are. The like owl tufts. Because otherwise you can't really tell it's like an owl thing. Okay. Damn it. I keep fucking forgetting to switch this back and forth between what they're used for. Switching the profiles, if you will. I don't know why I said if you will. Eh. I can make anyone look extra goofy. It's a talent, really. You know, why erase that? I can just do that. There we go. Put a little more curve in it. There was an episode released, I think, yesterday of an anime I started watching called Black Torch. It's like 3 episodes deep or something so far. At least that's all I've seen. I think no. Is it 3? I don't fucking know. 4? I think it's 3. Um, it's a little slow to start in terms of getting into action, but this is kind of more how they used to be. And everything about this anime so far has kind of felt like how it used to be, and I'm kind of liking it. It reminds me of like older anime where the theme was like always in the same effect of like isekais, where in those basically in isekai it's always guy dies or person dies rather and is reincarnated with like immense power. In these it's usually like either chosen for power, because they were doing something they maybe weren't supposed to be, or like accidentally got involved, or they worked so hard they overcame not having power. These were like really big themes for a while. Um, and I kind of missed those because they usually had like a pretty decent charm about them. This one kind of has like that vibe where it's not just like granted power by God. It's more usually it's like this power is killing you, you shouldn't use it, and maybe you're evil because you have it. I know Chainsaw Man kind of did that, but they did such a fucking piss poor job on that character that I just can't fucking stand him. So fuck that. I'm sorry, I genuinely just don't like. It's just he's so obnoxious, dude. It's just like, I don't know, all the time spent, the best way I can put it is all the time spent being like creepy for what I believe I'm gonna call it fan service, because I believe that's what it's about. It doesn't, as far as I know, serve any like story driven purpose. So like all the creepy fan service stuff is time wasted that they could have done cool animations or told a better story. Like I'm all for comic relief. I'm for fan service even, but they just like turned the character into such a fucking loser. I don't know. There was a trend. It reminds me of this. Maybe it's not quite as bad as this, but there was a trend, and it hasn't really stopped, where characters would piss themselves. Like that was a huge, huge thing for a while, where like either the main character would piss or shit themselves, and you're supposed to be like, "Oh my god, they're so pathetic." And then you're supposed to watch them evolve over time to maybe being stronger, or like the people they're with will do that, and then the hero will come to their aid, like the main character hero, and you're supposed to think like, oh shit, they were so pathetic, and here's your heroic hero. And it's just like, what the fuck is going on? It just feels like this old trope, not even an old trope, it's a common trope. It's always been there, it'll never stop, but of the author, the artists putting their fetish into their work. That's what it's always felt like to me. It's just creepy. I just don't get it. Like the time spent animating someone pissing themselves on the floor, it's wasted effort. Okay, so let's try and draw. How do you draw a fucking hoodie? I don't know about you guys, but I always have one side of my hoodie for some reason. I don't. It doesn't matter which side, but one side will have most of the hood. It's never symmetrical. I don't quite know that this is how I want this to look, but I don't know what I'm doing, so okay. They do seem to have a necklace, but I don't really think that matters very much because you won't be able to see it. Can I come down, please? All right, so I feel like if I shrink what I'm working on much more, it's gonna start to look a little weird. But if I don't, we're not gonna get those little tough things in. I'm gonna take a step back. We're gonna look at it. We're gonna stretch because our back hurts. Jesus. Just drink some water. God damn. Do, do, do. Probably should have unmuted and said what I was doing. I was going to say, so I took the tags out of this. Obviously, it's no secret. I sell things on the side if I get them for cheap enough. Like I'll buy them on like clearance. Usually it's like a display model or something, and I get a really good deal on it. I've had this for quite a long time now. I think it's been like actually I can just check. Hold on, let me check. Let me check. Let me check. Hold on. See now I built suspense. Now you have to stay while I check when I bought this. I think it's been like at least 2 years. Um, how the fuck am I gonna find this? I've bought so many of this brand. It's a Bulova, and Bulova generally is known. They used to be known for making cool military watches made in America. Now I believe they're made in. I don't know what they classify as. Most of the stuff I think uses a Japanese movement. And they do actually have some really cool stuff. Um, namely their precisionist stuff and their lunar pilot. The precisionist stuff is generally not my style. I actually have one that I had for sale. I don't want to go get it out though. But the lunar pilot also a very cool watch. That one has had a model of it that's gone to the moon, which is super cool. Here we go. Here we go. When did I buy this? Come on, Amazon. 2022, 4 years ago. Um, I guess at some point it got delisted, but it's like a little bracelet that's lapis, steel, and I believe hematite. I was going through my stuff to relist things. Hold on, there we go. And I'm like, well, okay, let's check the condition. I do have the tag for it. It just obviously slides right off because it's a fucking clasp bracelet, right? You can just undo the clasp. Um, and then I realized my hands fucking smelled after, and this thing kind of stinks. It smells like BO is the best way I can put it. And I was looking at it, I was like, holy shit, this kind of matches my watch. Maybe I should start wearing it. And then I was like, I'd rather get rid of it because it fucking stinks. But I can't really sell it this way. I'd also rather have the money, to be honest. I don't really wear bracelets, but I'd also rather have the money. So, how do I get rid of this thing? Like, what part of this is smelling? What can I use on, I think, hematite? Does anyone know? Like, what's safe to use to clean that so that it doesn't. My fucking hands smell now. How do I save this? Because it's stainless steel and lapis. And those should be generally fine with just like soap and water. But what do I use for hematite? I feel like that's gonna rust, right? Because this hematite has like an iron content to it, doesn't it? Or why is it called hematite then? I'm gonna look it up. Anyway, we've gotten really distracted. Hematite stone. Yeah, it's okay. It's iron oxide. Iron 2 oxide. So it's diiron trioxide. Um, Mohs hardness of 5.5 to 6.5. So that's I mean that's not that soft. Would it a diamond's what 9? And then like um what is it? It's all sapphire, right? Is it all sapphire or all ruby? So all right. I believe emerald, sapphire, and ruby are all the same stone, just different colors, right? Like they're all the same conundrum or something. Corundum. Uh, Hold on. But they're all technically sapphires. Oh, okay. These are 9. These are 9 on the Mohs scale. I was gonna say they're 8. Am I one down then? Is diamond 10? Where? Oh, it is 10. Okay, so okay, because it's the defining mineral, it's 10. So it's a 10 out of 10. All right. Um, I don't know why I was thinking like it's it's um it's like 9 is the highest, but technically 10 could be, but they're like leaving room for what could be higher. Anyway, that's their hardness scale. Okay, they're all yeah, corundum, which is an aluminum oxide, I believe. So those are 9. So yeah, you know what? I guess this is pretty soft. But yeah, I don't know what the fuck. I got so distracted. I don't know what to clean that with, that it won't potentially rust. And then I am stuck with it, and I have to wear it. I don't really want to wear it because, like I said, I'm not a huge bracelet wearer. I know a watch is basically just a bracelet with a function, but I don't want to wear that next to my watch, and I don't want something on my right wrist. So like, there's just no place for it. I do like the color scheme, which is probably why I bought it. Generally, when I buy something, I I only buy it if it's a really good price, and if I'm going to be stuck with it, it better be something I fucking like, right? Or can give away relatively easily. Okay, we're gonna potentially diverge. I'm gonna look at owls real quick. Owl leveling. What? There we go. Okay. Yeah. Are those ears on an owl? Hold on. Do owls have ears? Okay, so the ears are just a fucking hole and a flap in the side of their head. So what the fuck are these? Owl tuft? What is, wait, hold on. Tuft purpose. Okay, it's a horned owl. That's what they're called. Let's go to owl. Dan Gleesack. What the fuck? National Institute of Health. I don't know if I trust this at this point, but I'm gonna look. All right, we're putting all of our faith into Adrian Sermaki and Pichor Minias. Bro's got to be Greek. All All right, here's their abstract of their thesis. This is, Jesus Christ, this is sick. It's been so long since I've looked at a research paper like this. Anyway, here's their abstract. This is all I really need. Ear tufts are plumage features. Abstract result. Wait, this is the whole thing? No, okay, there's a whole fucking study here. Plumage features, which are particularly high prevalence in owls. Mm-hmm. Several hypotheses have been developed to explain their function, mostly including camouflage, species recognition, deterring predators, mobbers. I didn't know predators were called mobbers. Hold, hold on, I'm looking that the fuck up. That's a real word? Cops and mobbers, bro? What? Hold on, I gotta know. Is mobbers a real word? You better not be fucking with me, Peter. Okay. I think Google thought I was looking something else up because that's something about LGBTQ plus. Prominent Anglo rap and trap. Okay, this is not going good. Wiktionary. That's pretty close to a dictionary, probably. Plural of mobber. Swear to God, if I get one more runaround. Mobber, a member of a mob. What the fuck are. Okay. Look, you're on thin ice here, Adrian. I trust Peter, but Petri dish here. Good guy. Or not, I don't know. And visual signaling among conspecifics. In the present study, we used a phylogenetically informed comparative approach. What the fuck does that mean? I'm stupid. You can't be putting words like phylogenetically in my shit. What? What? I'm just a guy. I'm just a little guy. You can't be doing this to me. My fucking shirt, I couldn't even spell Oreo right. It's a W. I got a lisp. Comparative approach to reconstruct evolutionary history of ear tufts and relative size of ear tufts compiled from color plates and photographs were analyzed in relation to life history and ecological traits. Did I just skip a fucking sentence? Specifically, data on the occurrence and relative size of ear tufts compiled. I don't know. I felt like I said that weird. Okay, so we're just going to skip to results. We found that ear tuft occurrence co-evolved with circadian activity rhythm and predominated in species with strictly nocturnal activity. The highest evolutionary rate was found for transitions from nocturnal to mixed activity in species without ear tufts, and from mixed towards nocturnal activity in species with ear tufts. Consistently, strictly nocturnal owl species showed larger ear tufts, controlling for differences in body size compared to species with mixed activity. We also found that owls preying upon birds had relatively larger ear tufts. Finally, a strong phylogenetic signal in tuft occurrence provided evidence for high evolutionary conservativeness of this trait. Conclusion: our results suggest that ear tufts may enhance camouflage of nocturnal owls during the daylight rest, when they might be threatened by visually oriented predators or mobbed by their potential prey. Our results lay foundations for further experimental research required to determine the ultimate function of ear tufts in owls. All right, so there's more here. There's obviously an entire fucking study that they did. This is just the abstract. It tells you what you want to know if you don't want to read all their data, but they provide their data as backup for what they feel is evidence and whatnot. And presumably they did something to, I guess, document their method here, their research. Anyway, so it's about circadian activity, and it seems to suggest it's about, I guess, camouflage for predators who sleep during the day and are active at night. So something about an owl I guess most likely at rest. I don't know how owls are going to be resting then. I don't know why I thought owls like hid kind of like in a abandoned woodpecker nest, or like, in like something small, as small as they could get. I didn't really think they were like standing on a tree limb and like pretending to be foliage. I know they will do that and like sit and look during the night or during the day, like when they're actually actively hunting. Cause like I'm thinking, what's it camouflaging? I would think you would just want it to not have those, so that you would look smaller, so that you're harder to spot. Like it's just one less thing to stick up, unless you were trying to maybe imitate the leaves, the foliage. But generally, I think owls are blended in more towards like the tree trunk itself. So maybe it's to make it look bigger and more frightening while it's sleeping. Like maybe make it look like less of a bird shape or something. So that if something sees it, it's like, where does it end and where does it begin? That's all I can think. Anyway, apparently tufts are for EP daytime owl. So this person is, I guess, nocturnal. Okay. So let's go back to also. We're really trusting you big time on this, Adrian Sermaki and Peter Minus. This is Frontiers in Zoology, 2025. This is a new study. Holy shit. This is from November 2025. I mean, a new study. It's newly published. They could have been doing this for fucking years. Does it say? They might have said when they started. Jesus Christ, they quote so much shit. That is fucking awesome, but I ain't reading all that. All right, listen here, Dingley Sack. All right, let's draw some fucking owl tufts. Okay, so we have theirs to work with. I'm thinking Arby's. Oh yeah, it's all coming together. Why does this bird look like that? I'm gonna go with this bird. This thing kind of cute. These are just feathers from what I can see, but they're like tufted out to look a certain way. It's interesting. I like it. Okay. My boy Dang Gleesack over here dangling in the wind. Okay. So let's switch to this. We're gonna name this sketch. Just gonna call this Atlas for now. Since I'm most likely gonna send Bro the file, we're not gonna give it a meme name. We'll get us in big trouble. Big trouble. I did really like this one by Jalen. Fuck. Oh, it's just Jalen Nilge. I think it's just Jalen backwards. It's like a bird woman, and like her wings are like kind of starting at her like tailbone and like wrap around her legs, but I just didn't know how to draw this body. And then she had other wings on her head, kind of like Medion. I don't know. I thought that would be cool, but I just didn't think I could pull it off. Okay, so let's maybe do like I don't know if are we ready for line art? I feel like we're kind of close. Let's check. Let's see how we can pull this off. So let's take this. Let's lower the opacity a little bit. And then let's just try our best. The mouth and whatnot can change. That's not a huge deal. I'm about to sneeze and I don't like that for me. Back. Jesus. Do 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 do. Maybe we wait on those. I don't know. Okay. I can smell you. Please, sir, may I zoom in? This is a huge problem for me with like the tracing art phase. I just find that sometimes I get really lost in like the sketch and like all the extra lines. It's like overwhelming at times. Okay. I don't like how that's looking. Why does that feel so wrong? It's better, I guess. Not much, but it is. Stop our back from burning. Ugh, kind of hot in here. And by kind of, I mean I'm pretty sure it's like 85 degrees. Actually, I'd be curious what it is outside, because this will tell me what it is outside. Too damn hot. I knew it. Where the fuck? There we go. Bro, it's not 77 degrees. What the fuck you talking about? Okay, it's 90. It's fucking 90 degrees. I am sweating. Hmm. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Wait, how did I get off of black? What is happening? Hmm. Purple and gold, huh? Alright, do I stick with their color scheme here? So, for me, I feel like the yellow kind of just mentally, like the visual aspect here, I guess, is it doesn't go with them having yellow hair, you know, the blonde. It's not like you can't just wear whatever color you want, you know? So it doesn't really matter. But I do feel a lot like the blonde and the yellow clash. It almost feels like they're fighting for attention. I don't know how to put it. Okay. We can always change the eyes like at any moment, so I'm not too worried about this. Because these are most likely going to be like an overlayer anyway. Oh, shit. Face all type of crooked, dude. Okay. Let's turn this off. Feel like it's still pretty crooked, isn't it? Might just have to leave it. Why does this feel so difficult right now? What am I doing? Okay. I so wish that I could just fucking move the tablet. This would be so much easier if I could. Fuck it. We're going, hey, look, it's Rice Shower. This is going to end in disaster. Let's not do that. Is there a wireless tablet like this that I could use? Maybe we look into that. Like a 30-inch wireless tablet would be great. What if I use this? Can it be done? Okay. Think we just do our best. You know what I mean? That's good enough. Is it perfect? No, but it's gonna have to be good enough. Man, why is it so hard to sit? Maybe it's because I'm not sitting on a real chair like an idiot. Oh, fuck. Okay. All right. How are we looking? I feel like this is a little confusing here. I'm hoping with like coloring and shading we can work it out. Let's go ahead and save. Feel like we've made decent progress so far. Okay. So no mouth done. We have this mouth to look at. So they're smiling. I kind of like this smirk that I've got going better. That's just a personal thing. So let's look. Sorry, let's look at that. No. Maybe we... Hold on. Keep it simple. Something like that. We can always change that. That's a pretty easy change, but I think that like really gets the point across. Okay. So let's do the little tufty boys. Feathers. More fucking feathers. Fucking hate birds, dude. You know what? I might do like one more just in the back here. What do we think of that? I kind of like it. Pretty fucking ass. I feel like it's suffering most in the facial expression. Obviously, there's still a lot of work to be done, but that's where it's suffering most to me. Let's save again because those are actually decent feathers. Okay. Let's just do a base layer, I guess, right? See what we can... Didn't mean to do that. See what we can pull off. Maybe get like a little look here. I'm hoping that this doesn't take us... Okay. Maybe, maybe we stick with this. But anyway, I'm hoping that this doesn't take us more than like today and maybe next Saturday, because that's probably when I'll be able to work on it next. I don't know. If I'm lucky, I'll be able to do it during the week, but I don't think I will. Yeah, so the hope is this should be relatively short. Like I said, I didn't want to do like a really, really massive project again. I kind of feel like I want to do a bunch of like, honestly, what I'm doing now, where maybe I do like some busts. I like a nice bust, real busty woman, you know. Some busts where, actually, hold on, let's see how this color looks real quick. Okay, I feel like these colors are like really rosy. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan, but that might just be because I'm looking at a white background. Like it has nothing else going for it. So it's like, to me right now, it's feeling kind of weird. Feels very pink. Feels raw. But yeah, I want to work on like maybe some faces and poses for a little bit, I think. I just don't really feel like I'm I don't know. I want to draw like people like kind of just like sketches almost to like work on stuff. I need to maybe find like some exercise stuff, but not like fucking boxes, but like poses. What color is the background here? Like a pink. Okay, pink and white. They have that rainbow shirt on. I can maybe do like a rainbow background. It'll be a pain in the ass though. I'm not 100% sure how to do it. I think I'll probably go over this one with like a thick line art. So we're gonna try and keep it line arty. So there's gonna be another, you know, trace around, if you will. I don't know. I just kind of feel like it's the way this should look. And I also generally like that. And I want to get back to trying to learn how to do that. Because the last few things we did, we ended up doing like a trace around, but it was like generally in complementing colors. I mean, this person did that as well, but I don't know. I kind of like that really thick cartoony look, that I cell shaded look, right? That I've talked about. Kind of want to go back to trying to do that. I just don't feel like I can get it good because my lines are never clean. And I feel like the more I've given into trying to not do it, or like trying to like just make something look good, the further away I've gotten from doing like nice clean lines. All right, that should be pretty sealed in. Never mind, apparently. How is that not sealed in? Actually, what? I don't know where this just failed. Was it there? Nope. How is this possible? Wait, actually, how did that fail? I'm so confused. How is it failing? There's no possible way. It cannot be. I don't see how this is possibly failing. I was down here. All right. I guess I must have missed the spot. All right, so yeah, to me this feels like, honestly, it feels like I'm looking at spam. I don't know. The color's not working for me. What are these colors? Maybe it's one of these. Oh yeah, that's much better. What about this one? So where are these? Well, hold on a second. Okay, they're on the hand, and they're like kind of here. Dude, what is this color palette? I don't know. We're gonna only use this. Whatever the hell's going on with this, it's too pink. I'm thinking this, and then the other ones is like shading. What do we think? Is their hair not in this? I thought this was the hair. Okay, nope, this is skin, this is the hair. How the fuck am I gonna do this, dude? This skin, it just does not work for me. I don't know, visually, it's like looking at fucking raw hot dog. Isn't it? How come it doesn't look this way on this? Why, why does this give me raw hot dog vibe? This is so strange. Why does it look so different? I guess I forgot to unmute at some point. I don't know. Anyway, I was gonna say, I guess maybe this color palette's just like not how I usually like to do things, so it feels super weird. It feels like highly saturated and very red. And to me this just doesn't go together. It's like it doesn't work as skin, it doesn't really work as hair, but that can be fixed, that can be worked on. I think what we do is we use it as base for now, see how it looks, and we can just work our way out of this. You know, we can stick with the general paint, colors here and work on it. I don't know that we're gonna get the jacket color in. Why did the bowl cut make it come back though? And why do people like it? I don't understand. It really is crazy to think about how much style has changed. Like the what do people call it? The broccoli cut, the curls used to be generally pretty unpopular. Basically, only Jewish kids would wear hair like that with like loose curls. How did they like? Is it that buffer zone here maybe that? Yeah, they do kind of buffer it so it doesn't blend too poorly. I am not a huge fan of this like base skin color though. Oh, yep. Look at how close it is. It thought that they were the same color. Shoot. Yep. So that's those highlights. Mm. What I might end up doing here is making the skin the lighter color and then doing the darker oranges as like maybe the cheek color and then like the other as the shadow. If that makes sense. God, I fucking hate that phrase. Sorry. I think the big issue is this like color scheme is kind of incompatible with how I like to blend things. This is very like stylized and bold, right? It's three colors and there's like no blending. It's just all hard like bold lines. And so what it does is it separates each color with like a complementary color that is close to the color it's separating, but not the one it's separating it from. And so there's like three layers of difference between them because there's like the separation line and then there's like this like lighter color outline usually. And so you don't notice as much just how close these colors feel and how like saturated red this feels. So this feels like someone who's really, really, really sunburnt to me. And I don't feel like this works at all. Um, it's just not compatible with like any art style outside of this, which is like highly exaggerated and extremely bold features. So I think we go with the lighter color and try and we'll try and work inside the palette, but I think it's not gonna work for us. It shouldn't be as big of a problem for the yellow because it's not right next to the hair that it's kind of close to. So this shouldn't be a huge issue. But I don't really think this is gonna be my favorite yellow. I don't really think you see a lot of shirts this color, and they're usually like slightly darker. Not that you couldn't get one, you know, people can get a shirt whatever the color, you know, fuck color they want basically at this point in time. Maybe that's what it is for me. This is very, very cartoonish. and it's just not really like cartoonish and bold is how I just keep wanting to put it. This kind of gives like almost Curious George rain jacket vibe. Um, I think we need to change this, but I'm not going to do it right now. But I want to change it so this is more straight and less folded in. This feels like a really big ass hood. It's crazy that I thought the hoodie was going to be like just ridiculously difficult to draw. I'm starting to think this might be the easiest part. Actually kind of reminds me of the color of banana Laffy Taffy. Alright, so we have like edges to fix and whatnot. That won't really be a huge problem. We can start with this stuff. This is what you get when you don't actually tell me what you'd like to see drawn. You get dealer's choice, you know? I think I've talked about this before. I'd like to get into making knives. I think if I ever did and like decided to maybe sell them or whatever, make them and give them to people, it's definitely gonna be dealer's choice. Like you're just gonna get what I give you, you know? You don't like it, you don't get it. Simple. Simple as. I don't really ever want to do something where it's super beholden to what people want because I just don't feel like I'm going to share that vision with them easily. So it's like at one point Moo said, "Oh, you know, by this time next year, I think this was like a couple months ago. By this time next year, you'd be able to maybe take commissions." But the thing is, that's not really why I set out to do this. So I don't know that I'd really be able to draw what other people want like that. But like, I just don't really want to draw what someone else wants. I want to draw what I want. And like, at best, I think I'd be fine with like them wanting, you know, maybe like I said, their character, like their reference, but like however I feel like doing it is what they get, you know? So it's like you can send me a reference and that's basically like your color palette, but I'm gonna draw it how I want to draw it. You know, if I want to turn you into a raptor, you're gonna be a fucking raptor, bitch. I don't know. Maybe that's what I'll do at some point. The thing is, I don't really have much of an audience for this, but if I ever get good enough, I don't really feel like we're there. Maybe it'll just be like I'll open up a thing, you know, for commissions. It'll just be one at a time. It'll be pretty fucking cheap, and it'll just be you can send me your, you know, reference, and if I, you know, whatever I do for you, you get, you know, and you'll have to understand that. What is happening? There we go. So it's like it'll be like your options are I can turn you into whatever your creature is or try. It's probably going to suck. No secrets, right? Cuz I'm going to stream drawing it and that's it. You know, you get it when you get it. You'll be able to see me making progress. You can stop by and say if you really don't like something, but there's no telling. But I really don't think I have it in me to just like do what someone else wants. Like for me, this is what I want. Um, like it's more of a suggestion to me when someone is having me like draw whatever it is that they are or they suggest. It's more like I'm gonna draw it as I want, as I can. And I'm still doing it for me, you know, not necessarily for you. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. You know, I just realized we have like almost no on the Raptor pick. I think we have almost no signatures. I think there was maybe some early on, but I kind of forgot to do them like last minute. There's like no OEOs on that. I should go back and do it. Do, 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 do. I think there's maybe like one I can think of, and I don't even think I said I was doing it. I was doing them while I was doing like those body feathers. I don't think it came out very legible either, which is why it didn't bother saying anything. It just kind of looks like a long W. I think it is just the longest one though. My hand's so fucking sweaty right now. I hate it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Do, 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 do. I feel like this looks super weird right here. I don't know what that is. I think it's just the way I guess it happened to come through. I should probably just use a larger brush, but I don't really want to have to like leak too much here. I think we'll try and finish up the skin tightening process here. Um, and then we'll probably be done for the day. Um, here's what I'm thinking. We will have probably a week before I can work on this again. I don't know, unless I happen to be able to work on it tonight. But I think if it ends up being solo tonight, I'm probably going to try and finish out our Borderlands 4 run. I think we might be able to pull it off. Um, but if we happen to work on this before next weekend and before this goes live, which so basically just tonight, but most likely not, we'll just go ahead and change the color. I do want people's opinion though, so if you hear this, let me know. Should I change the color of the skin? I feel like yes. I feel like this color is just too red. I'm not a huge fan. So I'd like to change it, but let me know. Maybe I just don't have the vision. If you see the vision, you think I should stick with this color, leave a comment, tweet at me, whatever. Or if you think I'm right and I should go ahead and change it, it should be as simple as just drawing a line with that color between the hair and the skin. I don't think I should have to do it with the jacket. I think the jacket is far enough on the spectrum to receive love. Love on the spectrum. Um, it's far enough on the spectrum away from this color that I don't think it will bleed. So I shouldn't have to worry about it changing this color. I should really only have to worry about it changing the other color. Did I already do down there? I guess so. Maybe that's where I started and I don't remember. But yeah, I feel like this is just too close of a combo for me that it kind of looks weird. I don't know. Let me know how y'all feel. I think I didn't really get the tufts worked in yet, but I don't think I have time to really do it well. Let me try one more time to see if I can escape. Yeah, so it's so close that it thinks it's the same color and it just changes both. That's pretty crazy. But notice how it doesn't change the yellow, so we should have no problem. I should just be able to draw a line between that, and that should just change everything where I click. Um, okay, I think this is the wings. So we'll just do this for the tufts real quick. I know I have to like trace around the hair and fix that up as well still, but we should be fine. We'll have to trace around this as well. Somebody remind me to put extra signatures in instead of just like a couple hidden ones. I think there's one in the eye on that other thing. I don't recall. I usually put at least one in the eye though. Honestly, I wouldn't hold on. I wouldn't be surprised if that counts too. Ah, it was so close. All right. We're going to save as and we're going to be done for the morning. We need to probably just do an eye layer where we just do our own eyes. We'll probably also maybe put the mouth and nose there just to be sure. And we might just delete the line ones. The tufts, pretty happy with them actually. I like that one's facing a different direction. I know their original one isn't really like that. I think it's just the same tuft, like copy pasted. That's fine. It's not a big deal or anything. I just like this. I think it's kind of cool. Hair actually came out pretty good. Obviously, I need to do some like, shading and shaping to it so that it doesn't just look like a flat thing. Hoodie, I think right around here, we need to really work around it and maybe like try and straighten it out. It just, I don't know. I feel like it doesn't make sense that it's like dipping down so much and then the other side isn't. I guess that's not a huge deal. It's just it feels like a really big hood. We got to put the necklace in. I ended up not drawing it in on Lart because I was like, I can just draw this silver or whatever the fuck color it is and not deal with that. Like it's not a big deal. Um, what I'll probably end up doing is darker stuff for like making the creases. Basically, it's going to be the way I did the Stola skirt and all that. Um, and we'll see how that works. But we made pretty good progress today. I could have done more maybe, but I may or may not have read an abstract from a research paper about owls. Anyway, thank you so much for being here. Thanks for hanging out. Have a fantastic day, night, afternoon, whatever it is for you. I appreciate you. Hopefully I can catch you in the next one whenever that is. But until then, bye.